would need money. Hello, Mr. Jason, are you back? Okay. So now we need money. Now, but when she said monetary value, now that popped up something in me that it is possible that we have a worth on something and we don't yet get what it should translate into monetarily. Okay, let's take an instance of something like this. When Pastor Lawa was discussing about wood, he said he sells wood, is that not it? And then he said he made money from it. And then from there he went on to. Now from both ends, he will be making money, and then the guy that had taught him how to fill gas cylinders collected about how much? 20,000 naira. In how many days? Now imagine that guy teaching about 10 persons how to fill gas cylinders in 2 days. That's like how much? That's how much? 200,000 naira. And the 200,000 naira we're talking about could be about 6 months salary for some people. So now, so if you understand, value what you have monetarily, it will help you. We are not saying that you go all out there and then you make things so expensive. But there is a way you can make it accommodating such that people will buy from you, and then in no time you can make from it. Now, there was someone who asked a question the other time that maybe you're selling a pack of tea for maybe for 2,500 naira. And then those around you cannot afford it. Something popped up in my mind. It's a pack, is that not it? Why not remove it per sachet? Calculate how many sachets you have in it. Okay, the pack will cost me maybe 2.5. And I realized, okay, maybe I have 10 in it. So it means I have to sell one for 250 naira, is that not it? And then to make my gain, I can just tell them, okay, fine. This pack you are seeing is 2.5. But because you may not be able to afford a pack, let me sell this one for you for maybe 270 or 300. Now, the person that may not be able to afford that of 2.5 may still go all out to buy what? Just one. And then if you check, from both ends, you're making your profits. If you sell for 270, you're fine. Knowing originally that if you sell for 2,500, pardon me, per pack, you still make your money. Is that not it? So it means you can bring out a sachet, you sell for 270, somebody buys. You get to another person and you realize, okay, fine, why talking to the person? If you tell the person 270, the person may see like as if it's kind of too cheap. Okay, sir, can you buy a sachet for 500 naira? The person buy. Before you know it, you have spread the profit around, and then you earn more. So whatever you are carrying, whatever talent you have, you should be able to understand the monetary value of it. Now, in the tail end of our discussion, she said something about self-understanding, which in a way, if you have discovered yourself, another thing you need to add to it is to understand yourself. Who are you? You don't just come out and you tell us that, okay, fine, that is how it is. But let us know who you are. When Jesus Christ met with Peter, maybe let us assume that Jesus Christ never knew who Peter was. And then that was why he told Peter, can you just please go deep? Okay. All right, Mr. Lodi, you're welcome, sir. Sorry,
Okay,
sorry, Nigeria happened to us the other time when you were discussing something to us. All right.
Okay.
I want you to go back on what you talked about, you monetizing content writing. Can we start from there, sir?
Okay. Thank you very much. So I said skill is not enough, talent is not enough, hard work is not enough. You need to be able to strategize. And I said there are different things to look out for when you have the value, when you have the writing skill itself. It's a skill, so you have to develop it. There's no negotiation on that. You have to develop it. So how do you develop it? You write. So they say writing makes perfect. So the more you do, the more you engage in an activity, the better you become. So you give yourself to it. So now when you develop the value of writing, there are certain things you have to put in place also to make you unique. All right, okay. So that's my topic. That's what I'm speaking on. Monetizing, yeah, the exploring the entrepreneurial aspects of content writing in business. So one of the things you need to consider is value. Develop yourself. Be grounded in what you do. So read, practice. That's how to work with skills. Any skill at all, you have to develop it. So, sometimes it's not about the skill. The skill is there, but you have to develop yourself in the use of the skill. So, content writing requires proficiency, and that's the part where you need to study, you need to read and write. So the more you do it, the more you have an understanding of how to structure your work, introduce technicalities. We're not here to talk about writing really, but we are here to talk about how you can make money from it. So just not to waste our time, the internet is there now, technology is there. I want you to leverage on it. My people perish because they lack knowledge. Pastor Lawal has talked about that. You are being exposed to knowledge now. Patience has talked about that. So information is being passed across to you now. Information is power. Make use of it. So leverage on technology. Now that you've had the value, leverage on technology. Okay, let me speak to this particular slide. So when you have your value, you need to learn how to meet needs with that value. That's how to make money. It's a general law of making money. Meet needs. So people are there stranded. They don't have the time. You have the time because you're intentional about making money from writing. So you have the time. People don't have the time to sit down to create that 500 word article, that 300 word article. You have the time. So you sacrifice your time, like Patience Ayeni has talked about. You spend time, write, create that 500 article, and I'm telling you, you can charge £100 from it. For it, rather, you can charge £100. You can charge as much depending on what you are actually doing. For instance, if you are to in research writing in the academic line, if you are to read a whole dissertation or a thesis and then you read it and you are to create an abstract of about 500 words from it. Now you are reading a dissertation of almost 200 to 300 pages or 400 pages. To create the abstract from the work, you can actually charge as much as you would. That's one thing about content writing. You can write 100 words and actually charge £300 for 100 words. It's all about the value you have. So we're talking about value now in this slide. You are providing expertise topic. You are meeting needs through that your value. You must ensure that also you have a unique proposition, selling proposition. You have to be unique. You have to be different from the competitors out there, your competition. You have to be outstanding practice. You need to engage to help you make your work easy, you know. So, and this will lead me to talking about leveraging on technology. There's no time. If not, I would have been able to go into all these points I've listed. You building your reputation and trusts and your engagement with your customers and the rest. That is you prioritizing public relations above even advice. One major mistake people make in a business is what they do is they spend hundred millions of naira, spend a lot of money on billboards, on advertising, rather than first of all spending more money on value, on perception management, on engaging their colleagues, people they have around them, their clients, one or two clients, on building reputation over time. Engage PR before advertising. So Now, leverage on technology. That's a key aspect. That's how to make the fastest money right now in writing business. So you have article writing services, you have freelancing platforms where the jobs are already there. They've created the business environment for you. All you need to do is to register, join in, and your value, market your skill, market, earn customers, and earn money. So this is article writing service. Article writing services are there are platforms online where you know they already have their clients, they have people waiting on them on their necks that please, I just need somebody to write a story, a didactic story on how children can eat healthy food, how children can be polite to their parents in the society, how children can learn, how they can grow. So they have clients waiting for them already who have thrown in, they've given them topic. So what you just need to do is those platforms, these article writing platforms. When you join them, you have the work, they will give you the work, you go and write, and then you get paid. So you can get as much as $50 to $2,500 depending on what you're writing about. So here are examples of platforms you can join: clearvoice.com, contently.com, writeraccess.com, and so on and so forth. So these article writing services, all they have their customers. All you need to do is to join, write for them, and then boom, you get paid at the end of the day. So now another category is the freelancing platform. The freelancing platform is a market on its own. They've created the atmosphere for you. They've created the environment for you. All you need to do is to come with your value, do your thing right, exceptional job, and you know make your money. So you know the popular Fiverr, the Upwork, and the rest. So those ones, even if you are an illustrator, somebody who can write and draw cartoons for children, go there. There are people waiting for you to receive your services. So there are ways to go about it. In today's world of freelancing, I wrote something there so that not to waste our time. In today's world of freelancing, you know, there's no excuse. You have um, you have access to information. You have access to different things, technology. You can actually do it as a part-time job, or you can even do it full-time. I'm not employed by anybody. I'm on my own full-time. So you can actually sit down. Don't make it just a hobby. Writing beautiful stories that children, those days, they write Simbi Goes to School and all those storybooks, the tortoise and the lion, the this and the that. And some of them didn't make so much money from it. But now, today, if you write such stories and you upload on Amazon, for instance, and people begin to download and purchase these things, $5, $10, before you know it, you just be receiving alerts back to back from different platforms. You can imagine writing some articles and people are paying £100 to download from all over the world. That's the advantage of the internet. £100. Imagine 100 people downloading your material, paying £100 for that research or that story that you have, that script that you have written. Before you know it, in less than 6 months, your whole story would have changed totally. You would have become a multi-millionaire. So it's all wisdom. It's all wisdom, really. And then there are other things to engage. I'll try to round off now because of time. There are article writing services, like I said, freelance platforms. There are sponsored posts that you can engage. There are writing contests for people who love writing and can actually compete. Is online writing contests. You see so many, and then some of them are willing to give you about $2,500 for free. Well, the pays, is a skill, is a talent that you have built. So you are not even struggling creating the content because now it's something you love, it's a skill. So you write it, you check your work, and then you submit. You can submit to about 20 or 30 platforms, sponsored posts, whatever, in a year. Contest writing platforms in a year, about 100. You can submit to them, and then at least one of them will pay. Once one of them clicks, You are having about $5,000, $6,000 that is yours free of charge. So, and there are sponsored posts. That is when you write for bloggers, for organizations, and the rest, and then they pay you. You can regularly. There was a time I was writing for an organization, and they were paying me. So you can write, you negotiate on the price. One thing is your value. Once you have developed yourself to an extent, you begin to learn how to interact, how to exchange. These things, there are a lot. They need training. Some of these things can be said online here, but you learn how to negotiate price, especially when you have built, when you're confident, when you have confidence in the value you have, when you know that you know what you're doing, you know how to maneuver your skill, you know how to deliver, you can charge. There's no limit to your charging. I'm telling you. The things that I was charging some times ago for 2,000, 1,000 naira when I was developing my skill. Of course, now I charge way more than that for the same content, for the same volume of work. So because I've developed my skill over time. So when you develop your skill well, add more. But you can start small. I'm not saying you should push in and start charging $1 million for, no, it doesn't work that way. Start from somewhere, then you begin to build. So there are other platforms you can engage. The samples are there on my slides. So my slides is free. I think you can get it after the seminar. There are other platforms to engage in. You see the changeagent.org and the rest. So now the thing is this, how this thing works. Apart from leveraging on tech, you can also work with people, referrals, direct referrals. So physically, you can actually market yourself. You start writing for somebody, you do a good work, and that person automatically, I'm telling you, would tell somebody else about it. When I started some years ago, I was helping people, package themselves, branding. I'm a corporate and personal brand expert too, public relations expert. So I was helping them tell their story, presenting them to the world, presenting them for platforms or whatever scholarships they were after, and I would even create their CVs too, content writing. There are different parts of technical writings. So while I was doing this, those things were opening up, these things were working out. So people were forced, the people I was working, my clients then were forced to, I didn't even know how to leverage on technology then. It wasn't like this now. That's pre-COVID. So it wasn't like this. Everything changed after COVID. So those people started telling their family, telling their friends, their siblings about me. This person can do this work for you. They can do this, they can do that. That's the power of referrals. Now, but one thing you need to know about referrals is that you need to provide an exceptional service. If not, they will not tell somebody else to work for you. You have to provide good, top-notch service. You have to be able to build a relationship with them. So beyond your writing, be their friend. Be somebody that they can open up to tell you their weaknesses. That I can't do this, so please, you have to help me to do this. Then ask how to come in, ask about how to engage them. So that's one way to make a lot of money. You have to leverage on social proofs to testimonials and the rest. So how do you start making money? Start now. The truth is, information is everywhere. YouTube can teach you so many things. YouTube taught me so many things. I've never paid for, well, apart from me studying English or being a communication person or studying whatever. YouTube has been the one helping me because I have friends who also studied the same thing I studied who are not doing what I'm doing now. They're doing something else because they lack competence, at least to an extent, in it. So I had to learn and relearn again online. I had to read up and learn and fine tune my skills. So intentionality is essential. So I want to let you know that when it comes to money, you have to change your mind. The Bible says, be renewed. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. The Bible, in different places, about 5 places or so, talks about the just shall live by his faith. So you have to build capacity in your heart to be able to know that you are worth hundreds of millions. You are worth this, that people can pay for the work. It's not an illegal thing. You are working for people to pay for you. Pay for the service you are rendering. So you have to make up your mind that I honestly believe that I can receive funds from this skill. I'm launching out now, and I know by the special grace of God that my clients would come, and I'll write, I'll join platforms, I will take the step, I will launch out, write, and make money from this thing. So when it comes to value, some people have this financial complex. I need to talk about it. It affected me for a while. When I started out and I saw that I could make money from this thing, I was still scared on how much I could make. In fact, it's still something I'm working on myself, and people are ready to pay you for these things because, for instance, if your life depends on something, man, you can give anything to get what you want. So people are ready to pay. All you need to do is to place value on yourself. So know that you're charging and they will pay for it. Now they can negotiate. If it's too much, they will go. But by the time when it reaches a particular point in time, you have to you have to have that consciousness. Like I wrote here, whatever you want in your experience, you must first accept it in your consciousness. So you have to accept it that okay, I can charge about $500 for this work. The first day I charged $200. A Ghanaian, I worked for a Ghanaian, then I wrote something for a Ghanaian. She did not even negotiate at all. I was shocked. I think that was the first time I ever launched into charging in dollars or engaging somebody abroad. No, I've engaged people abroad, but charging as much as that for an article. She didn't negotiate. The second time, I charged $200 again. I was still scared for the same value. You know, the guy, he was also, I think I worked for three Ghanaians then. He didn't negotiate. He said, all right, when we did it and so on and so forth. I was shocked. So I think afterwards I began learning that okay, I can actually charge more than that. So you know, I but I had spent years developing myself. I'll be candid. You need to build value. I'm rounding off on this. So while I was in school, I actually joined the Union of Campus Journalists. I volunteered then. So I was writing, I was editing, I was reporting, I was collaborating with the editor in chief. I was doing the work of the editor in chief at some point. So I'll go out, record, transcribe, and edit. I was doing so many things right from my tender age. I had had a flair for writing and talking and speaking. So, and then, working and working and working till I got to this point. So when I developed my value, my skill over the years, I knew that now I could charge this amount for this. So don't go all out charging if you know you don't have the value yet. So you spend time, volunteer sometimes. I write letters to royal families, to kings, and so on and so forth. And I've been doing it for years. I built I developed my skill. So develop yourself, deploy these things that you're learning, and then launch out. That's the essence of this conference. I'm just encouraging you. There's a lot you can make. Leverage on technology, leverage on the power of knowledge, information, and you see all things work together for your good. Don't forget that Jesus himself said, if you believe, all things are possible to him that believe. He said, if you believe, you say unto this mountain, be thou removed. All what is required is your mind, your thinking. Know that you can actually make money from content writing. Once you know it, launch out. Start from somewhere. There are many tools now that can help your writing. You might not be so good, but things can edit it and work it out for you. I'm telling you. So that's at least the little thing I can drop today. I wish we had more time, but I hope to see you at the top. Yeah, thank you very much. Um,
It's easy for you to write, or probably let me put it this way: have you ever written before and it was rejected? If it has ever happened to you, how did you
oh,
get over it?
Now, I think every writer or every creative or any skill, anybody who utilizes skill should be ready to go through the process of rejection, of insults. I still get it sometimes, even with my level of expertise. You know, be ready for disappointments. So, what I do is my voice, I actually take responsibility for whatever is happening. I don't argue with my clients at all. I have learned how to apologize. It's so simple. Just saying sorry is fine. Now, it's fine not because of that person, but because of you. So each time I see myself as the person who is now, there's a level to understanding how money works. I see myself as money, actually. I see, because nothing comes to you externally. That's plain. And now I'm going into the laws of finance. Nothing comes to you from outside. And I'm speaking to those who feel entitled to somebody's wealth somewhere. It doesn't work that way. Nothing comes to you from outside. Money comes out from within you. All things that you ever need, all the things you ever need in this life, God has put it inside of you. So I know now that there's a problem, there's a rejection. The problem is not with the client. I first of all take responsibility for it. So I look, I think, I say, God, how do I make things better? How do I work? How do I change? I don't look at, if you keep passing blames and arguing with your client, you're just wasting your time. It doesn't work that way. You work on yourself. Once you can correct yourself, correct the notion of rejection. I'm not seeing it as rejection now, I'm seeing it as an opportunity to grow. Once you can work on your mind, you begin to see that it begins to take place and show up in the hearts of your client. The truth is, we are all connected as human beings. No love. I've failed in this area. I wasn't able to meet up with a deadline. I don't blame myself per se, but I begin to encourage myself. I begin to change the lens in which I used to see that engagement, that deal, that business, that skill. So I don't get angry. I don't get bitter at myself. No, it doesn't work that way. I don't go into any argument or fight with my clients. I keep apologizing. There are people who would insult you. You would wonder, I've done stuff for people severally, like 3 4 times the same, and I'll be like, what else do you now? For I do some kind of academic writing also sometimes. So sometimes you never please those who you assist in writing, because they are also under some form of pressures, in their research career or whatever. So you have to know that you've done your best, but you can do better. So it's all about you. That's number one. You settle those conflicts within you through love. As you radiate those frequencies of love from within you, you see that you get better. You know how to deal with clients better. And in wisdom, I don't know if I've answered it to a point, but it's an internal thing, it's not an external thing at all. So don't go or trying to correct things from the external point of view.
Okay.
Correct it
Thank you.
from within.
Thank you so much, sir. We have really enjoyed you. Thank you. God bless you.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
thank you
Thank
very
you so
much.
much.
So I wanted to say something, please.
Okay, you can go ahead.
Yeah, if you want to reach me, please, you can reach me via LinkedIn or my email.
Okay.
So so that it would be formal enough. Yeah,
All right. All right.
thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
I'm very open.
Thank you
I'm a
so
simple
much.
person. So thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you. God bless you.
All right.
Yeah.
That's quite an eventful one, and I bless God with that. And we've learned quite a number of things. We can get the mail. So for those of us that may want to connect with Mr. J. Suloni, we'll try to speak with him, and then we can get the mail via the intellectuals platform. So without wasting our time, we would like to connect with another one of us in our midst. He has been in charge mostly for the media technicalities in CGWC internationally, and we'll be connecting with um, Pastor Benga Olonode. Okay, that's him. He's the managing director and CEO for Movie Clip Productions. Oluwagbenga started his career as production intern at RIL Studio, from where he moved to Royal Studio as an editor and graphics designer. He has also worked at professional assistant editor, where he rose to the position of production head. For a time, he was a freelance editor or a freelance production logistic provider, where he established successful production brands, among which we have Movie Clip Production, where he emerges till today. To his freelance credit, he was part of the successful post-production team of the Gouda Ultimate Search 2014, and he had major working relationship with production houses like Lucid Audio and Visual, Jingle Frameworks, Six Sense Entertainment, Avege, Sakal Multimedia, Media Groove, Audiovisual, Mobile Screens, and Sound Limited, etc., with different projects including TV commercials, documentaries, and the likes like that. So he has been on this job for over 25 years. A round of applause as we join Mr. Olonode Gbenga for his time with us. Hello, sir. Are you there? You can please rotate your camera so that we can see you better, sir. Hello, sir. You can please rotate your camera, please.
Hello, are you hearing me? I can't hear you. Hello, just very faint, very faint, very faint. Not yet.
Can you hear me better now, sir?
Yeah, getting better, getting better.
All right, sir. Thank you so much for joining us. I believe you are
It's
joining
a
us from the
pleasure.
United States of Abeokuta, sir.
You are very correct.
All right, thanks for having us, and then we're so glad having you too in our midst. Okay,
The pleasure is mine.
we know you are entering in the media business, but
Wow.
our concern here today is launching into the business understanding of it. How do you think
Yes.
we can monetize this as young ones, such that when we actually come on this platform, we can enjoy the goodies that we are also enjoying, sir?
I can say it's been good, and it requires a lot of patience. So let's roll. We are looking at a business side of content creation vis-a-vis media, photography, or videography. The content we are looking at is our content is either a photograph or video production. And as we go along, we'll see the different angles that we can make money from in this business of content creation. Building and sustaining a creative business, photo or videography, requires time. It requires time. It's not something you just get into and money starts rolling in. It requires time. Again, you must be creative because we are looking at content creation. You must be creative. You must be consistent. You must be determined to build your own brand. You must be determined to build your brand. If you don't build it, nobody will build it for you. You must be determined to build your brand, and that is what people will know you for. And you must have the willingness to learn, because content creation vis-a-vis photography, videography, you must constantly updating your knowledge, especially when it comes to software needed for editing especially. You must continuously updating your knowledge. You must have that zeal to learn. So, content creation, photography, videography is the kind of business that allow you to work at your own pace. You can manage your time. You decide when you want to work, when you want to rest, depending on how you've programmed your schedule on what you want to do. It gives you liberty to work at your own pace. So, and again, this is the kind of business, if you are so good in it, it allows you to do other things. You can have other side hustles. You can have other side hustles that you can do, not only specializing in but you. If you are so good in this business and you are consistent, this is something that is worthwhile doing. So I will just run through some strategic approach to beginners, especially for beginners, or even if for those people that are into it already, but maybe they are not, they are kind of don't know to make cool more to get along in it. This following approach can help us. Number one, you must learn the rudiments of photography and videography. You must learn it either by self-develop or being an apprentice. You can learn it from somebody that is already in the business, depending on how good you are or how kind of fast learner you are. That will determine how the duration that you will use. Again, you can learn it on your own. Go to YouTube. There's nothing you want to learn about photography, about videography, even about camera handling that you cannot get on YouTube. But then you must be able to get somebody like a mentor that can mentor you in it. Most times, many people read on or listen to things on YouTube. They will need mentoring on it or physical explanation on it. You can just get somebody that can mentor you in that regard. So you must be able to learn the rudiments of the business. Another thing is you must get the needed equipment. Get equipment. What equipment are we talking about? We are talking about camera, we are talking about lights, we are talking about system, and even softwares for editing. Again, for beginners, listen to me, for beginners, after you have acquired the knowledge, getting a camera is of utmost importance. But then, if you are financially incapacitated in getting a camera, there are cameras that you can hire. You don't need to kill yourself because you want to get a camera, or you go and sit down after acquiring the knowledge. That's because I don't have a camera, I cannot work. No. There are many photographic cameras, there are many videographic cameras that are available for hire. You can have good camera for a start. Then, not only having a good camera to work with, you must be able to get familiar with those equipments, know what to press at the right time, depending on the weather, the location you want to shoot or you want to work. You must be able to know how to set your cameras for any particular location, any particular weather. There are some halls that you might want to shoot either photo or video that you will need to your shooter, your adjust your brightness and all that to suit whatever lights or lighting condition in that particular environment. You must be able to get familiar with your gadgets, with your equipment. Also, your softwares that you need to use in editing, you must get familiar with those softwares. Many people have the best softwares, many people have the best cameras to work with, but they don't know how to go about it. And you see somebody using the smallest equipment, the smallest software to achieve greater things. So no matter what the software you are using, you must get familiar with them, know how to maneuver your way in achieving the desired result that people will see and they will marvel. Again, you must start small. You must start small. Starting small simply means you don't need to be running around to get money to set up a studio, either a video studio or editing studio, photography studio. You don't need to overburden yourself. You can start from your own comfort zone, from your own room. You can start there. What you need to do in starting a photography studio in your from your apartment, just get removable backdrops. Get removable backdrops that you can use, you can change at will whenever anybody comes to take photograph or to shoot. But then if a client requires that you must take him or her to the studio, there are studios that can be hired also. You pay, you shoot, you go. Either photography studio or videography studio. Most of these musical videos that we see on TV or on the internet, most of them are shot in a rented, in a hired studio. That even some people shoot in their own living room. They just use chroma background, put it in on the system, they remove the background that is there and they put any background that they want. So you don't need to kill yourself, to overburden yourself, or to go and sit down and be thinking, how can I get money to set up a photo studio or a video studio? No, there are available studios for hire that you can work up to, pay them, shoot whatever you want to shoot, and you leave. That's another thing. So you need to start from your own little corner. If you don't have money to buy camera, I've mentioned it, you can hire either for video or photography. Again, you must be confident, you must be organized anytime you are meeting a client. I will still talk about the stages in production, in content production. As time goes on, I will still talk about stages in content production. When you are meeting a client, either for discussion prior to the event, you must be confident in your discussion. You must appear organized, you must appear neat. You must see that, yes, this person is somebody that appears well. You must always go to your occasion always very comfortable, confidence, and even appear either formal, casual, or any way that you know you are comfortable, any attire that you know you are comfortable, that people will see you and they will respect you. You don't go to an occasion looking rough. I've met many photographers in an occasion that you will not even to communicate with them will be a problem, because the way they appear, especially photographers. I must mention photographers. Sometimes they can be annoying. Most of them will be jumping in front of cameras, they'll be struggling to take a particular shot that you don't need to struggle to take. So if you are organized, you achieve what you want to achieve. And also, most videographers, when they appear in an occasion, they want to be begging for money, using camera to cajole people. No, a red flag for me. If I see you doing that, I'll give you space. So for us, either beginners or for those of us that are into it already, these are some of the things that we need to stay clear of. Let people see you and respect you for what you are doing. So we move on. Again, You must build your own brand. I mentioned it earlier. People must know something special about your own work. Let your creative work stand out. Let it speak for you. There are many shots you take during a production. When you come to post-production editing, you maneuver it. When people will see, they will not recognize them. So I know most people have been deceived by photography lately. You see people with tribal marks after editing it. You clean out either pimples or the tribal marks. That is what editing can do at this age. So you must build your own brand. Clients can complain, but depending on how you are able to maneuver your way in building your brand, they will take you for whom you are. Your client should be able to differentiate between your work and others. Something must be unique about your own that will retain your clients. Even, I always say something, your work should be able to advertise you. Sometimes I'm meeting a client for discussion. Possibly maybe they are referred to me by my other clients and all that. What I always tell them is, let me send you samples of my work first, or I refer them to my social media handle or my website to see sample first. After seeing the samples, let's talk. So your work must be able to advertise you, and there are many things that we do now at our work. There are short videos for social medias, 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes. These are the things that you must patiently edit, because your clients are posting them on social media and people are seeing it. In fact, there is one burial I did about 2 weeks ago for one of our brothers. One of our pastors saw it on Facebook. He called me, said, I heard my voice on a particular video on Facebook just now. I said yes, because he was the one that officiates the burial. So when people see your work, they should be able to call you and appreciate. In fact, those are the things that will advertise you. People will see it and they call you for work. So you need to be able to put in your best in especially those short videos, because they go viral. Your clients post them anywhere. So you must be able to take time in building your brand. Let people know something unique about your own brand. I know if you give it to this person, especially those added values that he does, you get quality for your money. Another thing is time management in photography and videography. Time management is of utmost importance. You don't get late to meeting a client. You don't go to an occasion late. At least you must get to an occasion 30 minutes before the commencement of that event. Another thing is your delivery. You must deliver either before or on your agreed time. Your prompt delivery is of utmost importance. Your clients will not want to hear stories. As we go along, I will still dwell more on that time management, because it has given me a whole lot of advantage. There are clients that I will agree with them that I'm delivering at so time, but I will deliver before the date. I can say that is an advantage on my part. I have not. It's very rare for me to not meeting up a deadline, a delivery deadline. It's very rare. So time management is of utmost important. You don't get to an event late. You don't get to meeting your clients late. There's a particular saying that first impression matters a lot. So you must be able to manage your time very well. Another next point is your content must be of high quality. Your content must be of high quality. I've gotten to an occasion, a wedding ceremony of one of our brothers. I won't mention his name. He's listening. The camera that the cameraman was using, the cards got exhausted. What we have to do is, I just bring out my phone The cameraman was recording with should I say recording? The cat has gotten exhausted, was just demonstrating, and that was the commencement of the reception. I just brought out my phone. We used my phone to record the full reception of that particular wedding. And after which I edited it. You cannot differentiate from what the camera recorded and what I use my phone to record. So your content must be of high quality. You must be able to know how to maneuver your way when you are getting on a tightrope at any point in time. And while on post-production, which is the editing, I'll still talk about it later, you can maneuver anything. With the use of your software, you can maneuver, you can clean, you can adjust color, you can do color separation, you can do anything, depending on how familiar you are with the equipment you are using. The next point is, don't be afraid of competition. Don't be afraid of competition. Competitors are always available. You cannot be the sole owner of a particular knowledge. No, you cannot be the only one that is doing a particular business. Competitors will always be there. Don't be afraid of competition, but what will stand you out is the quality of your content, that people will say, no, this person, in fact, you cannot think about the quality of his production. So don't be afraid of competitor or competition. They are always available in any business, especially, you see, in photography, especially of videography, there are many people that are working as a freelancer, that they do a whole lot of things. So you must be good with your gadgets, with your software, in order to maneuver anything. That will give you an advantage over other competitors. Another thing is, you must get a mentor. You must get a mentor. Somebody must be able to mentor you in this business, because there might be a time you will encounter itches. You might get a tightrope on a particular production that you need an experienced to guide you. What can I do? Sometimes you go and do some recording